channel. If you're new here and you enjoy this tag and you like mommy vloggers, you're gonna want to subscribe to my family because I think I'm pretty awesome. I might be biased, but look at the extra skirt that I have on that you guys can't even see. I mean, I guess I could fix my camera, but I've been playing with my camera probably for a good 20 minutes to get this video to look the way I want it to look. So I have been tagged. This is my first YouTube tag ever, obviously, because I'm a relatively new channel. But I do mommy vlogs, lifestyle, hacks, hauls. So if you like that sort of thing, then you're going to want to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to put your bell notifications on and give this video a big thumbs up because I really excited. When I found out I was tagged, I like ran to my boyfriend. I was just like, oh my god, my first YouTube tag. So obviously I'm excited about it. So I was tagged, and I might botch her name, by Ayisha's Life. Ayisha's Life? I am so sorry if I botched your YouTube channel, but I will have her channel linked in the description box below. If you guys like the same sort of thing, you can subscribe to her as well. She tagged me in all about my first newborn tag. So, and the reason I have my phone is because, one, I wanted to make sure I pronounced her name right, but I'm pretty sure I got it wrong anyways. And I had screenshotted the questions on my phone. So, let's just get into it, shall we? So, first and foremost, question number 1, was your first pregnancy planned? So, I'm really thankful that I got tagged in this because, being a relatively new channel, I don't have my daughter's birth story kind of down below or in a video because I didn't really see the point of doing it because she's almost 2, and I think that that's one of the questions. So sorry if I'm answering questions ahead of time by kind of giving you guys a sort of a backstory. So me and my boyfriend had met, and not long after we met, we actually got pregnant unexpectedly. And unfortunately, 14 weeks into that pregnancy, it wasn't a viable pregnancy. I had a miscarriage. And I was really upset, very traumatized by this miscarriage because I knew something was wrong, but I went into the emergency room not expecting to get the kind of a response from them that I got. I got a really relaxed, it happens to everybody type response. It was very, it didn't seem that they cared all that much, and they actually brought me back the next day to kind of confirm that everything, what was happening, and I went to a gynecologist. I think it was the same day, I'm not too sure, but my sister was with me, and he said that you'll have some mild cramping. He gave me a medication to help start basically the labor process because my body was just not having it. So I guess I can go into more detail about this miscarriage in a different video. So, but anyways, back to the question. The question was your first pregnancy planned? No, it wasn't, but Hallie was definitely kind of like, well, we were already in the baby mode. We really wanted a baby, so we sort of tried to not try, and we got pregnant. I think it was 3 or 4 cycles after the previous miscarriage. Were you married? Is the second question. And no, we are not married. We've only been together for 3 years, and yes, we do have a child together, and yes, we are starting a TTC2 journey here within a year or so. We're starting that. I just don't think that you need to be married in today's day to have a baby with somebody. Marriage is very expensive. It's very final, and weddings aren't cheap, and we just don't have that sort of money to blow on one day or one occasion. So we will get married, but we will probably be engaged for quite a while before we get married. What was your reaction when you found out? I was very excited, but I was also very scared, and I was very nervous because I didn't want to have another miscarriage. I didn't want to go through what I went through before, obviously. So I took all the precautions to make sure that you know, I knew that she was as healthy as she could be early on. I got an early ultrasound. I made sure I got my blood work done. I just was a lot more cautious. So I was super excited, but I was really, really nervous also. Number 4, were you induced? No, I wasn't induced, but I had a scheduled C-section. How old were you? I was 25 when I found out I was pregnant with Hallie, and I was 26 when I had her. Did you want to find out the gender is question number 8. Yes, I did want to find out the gender, specifically for the first baby, because I was super nervous. My anxiety during this pregnancy was like all over the place. So yeah, I just wanted to be really prepared. I just wanted to know everything that I could know about this pregnancy to make sure that I was completely and utterly prepared. What was your due date? My due date was September 29th, 2018. I actually had a scheduled C-section for September 20th, 2018, so I was 9 days early. Oh, 10th question. Did you deliver earlier or later than your due date? I was 9 days early, as I just said. The reason why we actually did a scheduled C-section was because Hallie was in a breech position and she was complete breech. So for those of you who don't know, there's different types of breech positions. There's footling breech with the feet coming first, like through your cervix and outside the vagina. And then there is bottom breech, which I don't know the technical term, but I will have it across the screen here. And then there's complete breech. Hallie was complete breech, and if I had a doll, I would show you what complete breech is. It's your bottoms first. Instead of her legs being up at her chest, her legs were kind of like scrouched in, kind of like in a kneeling position. So that is complete breech. It makes delivery, especially for your first delivery, next to impossible. It's not impossible. For those of you who are going to comment below saying that I had a complete breech vaginal delivery, it is possible, but you have to have a very trained doctor in breech deliveries. You have to make sure that you are well prepared, and I just didn't feel like I wanted that added stretch, added stress. I was extremely disappointed. I did try to do the external inversion rotation. Basically, I botched that, but it is when they physically try to turn the baby into a head down position. Hallie was a complete breech. Her bottom was engaged. It was just very, very rough. They couldn't get her bottom up and out of the pelvis to be able to turn her, and it was extremely painful. I'll have another video on that down the road, but I'll talk about it down the road. Let's not talk about it here. Okay, did you have morning sickness? So I paused because if any of my family members are watching this video, they're going to say that I had hyperemesis gravidarum, because my morning sickness was so bad with my daughter that I actually had to go to the hospital 3 or 4 times and be put on fluids because I couldn't keep anything down. And when I mean I couldn't keep anything down, I couldn't even keep the liquid from having a popsicle down. And that is, you know, food is one thing. They're like, okay, just try to eat what you can. But when you're not getting hydrated enough, it is very concerning, because especially in your first trimester, they want you to be able to get your hydration. And I just didn't have the ability to keep any of that down. I actually had to sleep on the main level. So because I couldn't walk up the stairs without throwing up. I couldn't brush my teeth without throwing up. I couldn't move or breathe the wrong way without throwing up. It was extreme, so extreme in my second trimester. I actually tore somewhere in my esophagus. I'm not really sure where, but I tore somewhere, and when I was throwing up, it was actually starting to throw up blood because I'd thrown up that much and dry heaved that much that I was actually throwing up blood. So morning sickness I did not have. I had hyperemesis gravidarum for sure. What did you crave? So when I could eat in the very beginning of the first trimester, this is like 3 to 5 weeks was when I didn't feel any morning sickness or hyperemesis gravidarum. And for those of you who don't know what hyperemesis gravidarum is hyperemesis is hyper, which means extreme, emesis, which is vomit, and hyperemesis gravidarum is just a technical term for extreme vomiting, extreme nausea. So I craved, before I got to that point, I craved beets, pickled beets in my first trimester, and when I could eat in the second trimester, I craved carbs, everything carbs. It was Raisin Bran muffins, bagels and cream cheese, and I exploded once I was able to eat. How much weight did you gain? So my first trimester I actually lost 15 pounds because of hyperemesis gravidarum. So when I was able to eat in my later part of my second trimester, I packed on the pounds very quickly because I just kind of felt like I had to make up for lost time. I don't know why I felt that way, but I just did. So I gained 45 pounds in a very short period of time, which actually caused me to have extreme stretch marks on my stomach, and someday I will show you those. What was the gender? I had a beautifully healthy baby girl. And how many hours were you in labor? So like I said previously, I wasn't actually in any type of labor. I had a scheduled C-section on September 20th. But if I'm going on like how long it took them from the time I got there to them actually putting the baby on my chest in the delivery room or the operating room, I got there, I believe, was around 9 o'clock. I know it wasn't early because the sun wasn't coming up when we were driving on the highway. But I believe it was around 9 o'clock. I couldn't have anything to eat or drink. But when I got to the hospital, they did let me have ice chips because I was starving. I want to say that they had to monitor the baby before. They wanted to make sure that the baby was still in a complete breech position. And that was like maybe 30 minutes before we went in the operating room. And I'll have another video on my experience on this. But geez, I'm coming up with a lot of videos during this day, aren't I? Okay, so from 9 to 1. And I had her in my arms by 1:30, so you guys can do the math. Did you have any complications during labor? No, I didn't have any complications during labor. She was beautiful. She was the perfect baby girl that she could be, and that was because I had a scheduled C-section. Not to say that people don't have complications even with a scheduled C-section. But I'm just blessed that I did not have any complications. Where did you give birth? I gave birth in Halifax, Nova Scotia at the IWK Grace Hospital. How many hours were you in labor for? I was actually not in labor. I had a scheduled C-section. How much did your baby weigh? She weighed 7 pounds and 6 ounces. What did you name your baby? So Hallie's full name is Hallie Mae Ann Ramsey. And how old is your firstborn today? Hallie will be 2 on September 20th, which is coming up really, really fast. So this is actually kind of the perfect time to do this because I'm not busy with other things. I'm not like, my mind's not otherwhere with moving. And if you're wondering, yes, this stuff is definitely not there normally. Yeah, so she's almost 2. I can't believe she's almost 2. These 2 years have flown by like crazy. When they say your firstborn actually, or any children, if they don't stay young for long and every phase will pass, they truly mean that. Because I can remember when she was a newborn, it feels like yesterday, she would just cry and cry and cry and not sleep. She was a horrible sleeper. And I just remember feeling, I am never going to sleep again. I am so burnt out. I'm so overwhelmed. And now she's almost 2 and she sleeps through the night and she's doing all the things that I was so scared that I would never do again, like put on makeup and sit down and have time to do a video, but I actually have time to do these things. And I think that that's what scares a lot of first-time moms. And if you are a first-time mom, you will get through it. It's a phase. All phases pass. I know that that's hard to think about in the moment, because believe me, I was not thinking that. I was thinking, okay, phase, you can pass now. But I was very, very lucky with Hallie. Not in the sleeping department, but her personality, her like energy, her thirst for life, it makes up for all the things that when she was a newborn, like was such a happy baby, other than when she was crying, I suppose. But she's such a people person. She's so outgoing. She's so thirsty for love, and I think that that's what makes it so easy with Hallie, is that it's not an effort to be with her. And I know that sounds weird because I am her mother, but it's never hard with Hallie. She's such a joy. She's just a joy, and I just love being her mother. Like, I just love it. So I'm getting anxious to have another baby, but I'm also scared to have another baby, because the likelihood of having another baby with her personality is very, very slim. So I'm nervous that I will have a cranky, I hate life baby. And I know that that's probably not going to happen, and I am over exaggerating, but I am truly blessed. She is an amazing, amazing girl. She's just an old soul. Like, she just loves life, and I love that about her. So I'll stop rambling on about my beautiful daughter. And yeah, so I found out through this tag video that I have a couple videos I have to make on explaining things during her birth. So maybe I will do a birth story. I think I will do a birth story. She needs a birth story, right? Comment down below if you think my daughter deserves and needs a birth story, because I didn't want to make this a long video. I just kind of wanted to answer the questions, but I found out that my birth story is a little bit unique, so I wanted to do a birth story and a little bit of a background on Hallie, so I will do that. I will have that soon, relatively soon. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I have tagged 1 or 2 people to do